We start today's show with breaking news on NBA Today, presented by American Express. Our Adrian Wojnarowski and Ramona Shelburne reporting that Joel Embiid has been ruled out with a calf injury against Nikola Jokic and the Nuggets. As you can see, Embiid did go through shoot-around this morning. That's him getting some treatment on his leg. So for more on Embiid's absence, we bring in senior NBA insider Adrian Wojnarowski. Woj, what more can you tell us about what went into Joel's status here?
Malika, just simply the load that Joel Embiid has been carrying, the density of this Sixers schedule recently led the team to rule him out tonight in this much anticipated matchup with Nikola Jokic, the two-time defending MVP, and a player that Embiid had 47 and 18 against earlier this season in Philadelphia. Embiid played a back-to-back over the weekend against the Warriors and the Suns. And I think once he played that back-to-back, I think it became more unlikely that the team was going to want him to play this game against Denver tonight. So he's out. And that meeting of the two front runners for MVP, along with Giannis Antetokounmpo, it's not going to happen. And, Joel Embiid loves to play in these big games, although he hasn't played in Denver now. This will be a third straight year he's missed playing there. So no Embiid Joker tonight in Denver. Yeah, and you mentioned the workload that Joel Embiid has been carrying. It's just the third game that he's missed since January 10th, playing in 33 of 35 games here. Woj, thank you. You mentioned Giannis. Please do not go too far. We will have an update on Giannis Antetokounmpo shortly. But I want to head to Denver now and bring in our reporters Tim Bontemps and Ohm Youngmisuk live from Denver. Tim, I want to start with you here. You were actually at the Sixers shoot-around. What more can you tell us about Joel Embiid, what he went through this morning?
Well, Malika, as Adrian said, Joel Embiid went through part of shoot-around this morning, wasn't able to finish it, and then he got that right calf iced up afterward. And this is something he's been dealing with since Wednesday's game in Chicago. He didn't play the second half of that game with right calf tightness. And then, as Adrian said, he played in those games Friday and Saturday in Golden State and then in Phoenix. But Joel Embiid throughout this season has been consistent about one thing. He wants to be healthy for the playoffs. Right. This is a guy who time after time has had freak injuries, unfortunate accidents have happened with him, and it's forced him to play in the postseason at less than 100%. Just last year, he got his thumb caught on a jersey and got an elbow in the face during the playoffs, and obviously was not himself in their second-round series against the Miami Heat. He has wanted to get to the playoffs 100% this whole time, and despite the fact he's right there in the MVP race, that is his number one goal, and that's the Sixers' number one goal. And I think when you look at what happened here today and with him not playing in this game against Nikola Jokic tonight, it's safe to say that is the overriding message from the Sixers, that they want to be 100% going into these playoffs with Joel Embiid fully healthy and ready to go. All right, so no Joel Embiid tonight, but let's talk about James Harden. He's missed 3 straight, 4 of the last 5. Can we expect to see him tonight? I think we've got a pretty good chance, Malika, of seeing James Harden back on the court tonight. As you said, he's missed the last 3 games after having Achilles soreness last Monday in Philadelphia against Chicago. Went 2 for 14 from the field, played 47 minutes, was limping in the locker room, has sat out the last 3 games. But today, he went through shoot-around fully, including at the end of it, throwing the ball off the backboard and dunking it. Ooh. Looked really good moving around. It was a far cry from what he looked like on Friday in Golden State when he didn't really do much of anything. Doc Rivers said before that game in Golden State that there was a decent chance he could play in Phoenix and a better chance he'd play tonight. I think from what we saw this morning, there's a very good chance at least one of the 2 Sixers stars will be on the court tonight here in Denver. Okay, so fingers crossed here for James Harden. Let's go to the Denver side of this matchup because we've talked about it. The clash of the MVPs, if you will, here. How much, though, does Nikola Jokic, does he care as much as we care about that back-to-back-to-back MVP?
Malika, it's probably the thing that he hates talking about the most is MVP. Nikola Jokic doesn't even really like dealing with the media, but you have to look at the way he plays, and maybe that does the talking for him. The other night against the leading candidate for Defensive Player of the Year, Brook Lopez, he was incredibly aggressive in the first quarter, something you don't often see. Usually Jokic likes to feel his way out. He likes to pass, but he scored 11 points in that first quarter, getting very physical with Brook Lopez, getting Lopez in foul trouble. Afterwards, Aaron Gordon said, look, No, ain't nobody stopping Jokic. Defense, I don't care if you're a defensive player of the year or not, you're going to have to foul him to stop him. And even if you're fouling him, he's still going to the free throw line and he's still scoring. So I was looking forward as a voter, as an objective MVP voter, Malika. I was looking forward to this matchup to see Jokic and Embiid go at it and maybe influencing my vote. I guess we're just not going to see it, which I'm very disappointed.
Bringing in Richard Jefferson, Vince Carter, Kendrick, Perkins into the conversation. As a fan, though, I'm a little bummed, Richard. I get it. I get that Joel Embiid wants to be healthy for the playoffs. That's where... Got it. It's a Monday, people. But I'm bummed. I wanted to see this head-to-head. What's your reaction here?
Well, I think that's it. I think, so much has been made about these MVPs, especially with Embiid being second the last 2 years in a row to Jokic. And we've seen Embiid be one of those guys. It's like, oh, no, I want to win the MVP. When he talked about why he went so hard against Draymond is because he thought Draymond said that, Jokic was the hardest player to guard. So when I look at this, there are certain players, it's like, oh, that's what we want to do. And when he had 47 and whatever, but that's at home. So you want to see how someone's going to show up on the road. So I think we are disappointed. We understand big picture right now. But, yeah, this is a disappointing because I was watching. We were texting during the Milwaukee and Denver game, and it's just like.
We get a second course, and now that's been delayed. Perk, what do you think of all this?
You ducking? Oh,
somebody throwing something? Somebody throwing something?
Oh, man.
Joel Embiid is ducking that smoke today. And y'all know how I feel about Joel Embiid. But here's the thing, right? He has been on record. We know how much it means to him to win this award. And here it is. You gave Jokic a spanking when they was down there in Philly. You have to give him an opportunity to get his lick back. You cannot sit out this game. I would have rather him sit out against the Phoenix Suns. Listen, I would have rather him sit out against the Phoenix Suns. Here's the thing, right? When it comes down to these moments and these matchups, I have a vote. I have a vote. And when I go and I vote and I'm looking at the MVP and who I'm going to pencil in, I'm going to remember this moment. It's only fair. Jokic gave you he showed up to work in Philly. You have to give him his lick back. Giannis showed up in Denver. Although they got whooped, he still was available. The series tied 1-1. You have to show up and play this game no matter what if you're Joel Embiid. And right now, from my eyes and me hearing it, it seemed like he's ducking the smoke a little bit.
I think it is what it is. And I think, like they said earlier, Philly is looking at the big picture, and they want Joel healthy and dominating in the playoffs, not regular season. Yes, they want to win as many games as possible. And I'm with what everybody is saying here. That was a matchup I was looking forward to. Is he ducking? I don't know. I don't think he's ducking. I just think at the end of the day, the doctor's trainer said, hey, you're not playing tonight? All right, cool. I'm out. You know how it goes.
That's what it sounds
like. But yes,
like,
we as the fans want to see, we as the fans wanted to see that matchup because there again, I think it, like Perk is saying, it will solidify what he's trying to accomplish. You got to, best whoever you feel like the best offensive player, and you going through the best defenders, and you putting up big numbers on them. Yeah. So, and then you can put up big numbers at their house on one of the guys that you're competing against. Yeah, man, that solidifies it. But
no, and really quickly, that's the tough with James Harden out. And then all of a sudden, if Embiid were to sit out the Phoenix Suns game, which would have been the ideal game, like, hey, let's rest you up so you could go against this matchup versus Denver. But that's what's unfortunate is we don't get that. But you're right. If there was a game to miss, but this is where Embiid is and same with Jokic. I'm going to play in every game until I can't play in every game. And now all of a sudden we are robbed of this amazing matchup.
Yeah, and that's kind of what it sounds like. It sounds like Embiid pushed back a little bit and then tried to go through shoot around. And it is disappointing, especially because Joel Embiid, he's 5-2 against Nikola Jokic in his career. After coming up, what was it, 47?
Another 47 ball. If he would have scored 40 and won that game, that to me would have put him as the front runner. It would have put him as the front runner for MVP.
That's kind of a silencer. I do want to.
Hey, you know how to shut a player down, though. You know how to shut a player down? You sit him on the side and ice him up. You ain't going in. That tells you everything you need to know.
There is another person in the conversation for MVP this year, Giannis Antetokounmpo. I want to bring Woj back for a little bit more on the two-time MVP. What can you tell us about Giannis's status tonight against the Pistons, Woj?
Yeah, Malika, Giannis Antetokounmpo has been ruled out against Detroit tonight. Some right knee soreness, I'm told, is not expected to keep him out, not believed to be serious. The best team in the league in Milwaukee traveling tonight to play the worst team in Detroit, and they'll do it without the two-time MVP, Giannis Antetokounmpo.
All right, so no Giannis tonight against the Pistons. Woj, thank you. Here's how the MVP odds are shaken out right now, at least according to the betting folks. Joel Embiid, he averaged 37 points on 50% shooting this weekend. The Sixers went 0-2, and then Nikola Jokic and Giannis Antetokounmpo, they each had 31 points in their matchup on Saturday.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming, sports, and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.